All right, welcome back. Let's get my screen shared here. So when I left you last, we were in Art Pro and you extracted out the tiles that match the study area that you have, okay? And you saved that out as a table, exported it out of Art Pro as a table. And what we're gonna use R for today is we're gonna use a package called Curl. Curl makes it very easy to download stuff, and we're going to walk through what that looks like real quick. Okay, so as all projects start, you start your package, and then your path is the folder that you're working out of, right? The directory that contains all the stuff. And here I'm working in Documents, LiDAR. Okay, and everything is always going to be in there. So that's where I'm at now. And right here, I just have a temporary name that is simply the name of that table that I exported out of Art Pro, okay? And I'm just going to save that name, and then I'm gonna run a tool called read.csv, giving it that name and these two parameters, okay? Saving that to a variable called grid. And here I'm gonna just look at grid using head. Head shows me the first several rows, 6 or however many I ask for. And as we discussed before, there's an attribute called FTP path, and it is the pathway that will help you download that file. And if you just copy and paste this into your browser, it'll go right to it. And that's fine if you only have a couple, okay? But what we have is a whole list, all right? So all I have here, I'm just extracting out that one variable, right? Grid, money sign, it shows me all the variables that are in there, and FTP path right there. And I just save it as a new variable called tiles. And tiles is how I will continue to reference this job, because this is going to kind of end up being a real distributed kind of thing, and we'll always need something to bring everything back to its proper place. And pretty much it's always going to be tiles. Okay. So that's it. So now, because I download lots of different tiles for lots of different projects, it's often the case that I'll already have the tiles, right? Or if you start and stop again or something, you may already have these tiles. And so we can search for all the tiles that we have simply by saying list files in folder LAS. So just to refresh you, let's just go real quickly to where that LiDAR folder is, and just keep things easy, everything's in LiDAR. And inside of LiDAR, I have one folder that will always contain any LAZs that I download from Kentucky Geoportal. No matter where they are in the state, I don't have to keep them segregated or anything like that. Okay. So that's the list. And of course, I can cross-reference my tile list, right? Those tile names, I can extract the name out of that and just ask, is it in the list? So where before, uh, let's see, tiles is a list of 72. So now if I cross-reference my machine, cross-reference these on my machine, how many does Get LAZs have? None, because I've already did this exercise, right? I've already did this exercise. So, so I'm going to show you. I'll just have to change one thing, tiles. So let's pretend that I do have a bunch, right? And okay, so then I just have a loop. Now this loop really should be a function, okay? But I haven't gotten around to cleaning everything up like I should. But what is it saying? It's simply saying for every item that is in 1 through however many items there are in tile, in this case there are 72 of them or whatever, it's going to try to grab the nth tile, format and output name for the file, okay, print you a message that tells you that, and then run one command from the curl package called download.file. using your provided, okay, URL right here, the new name that you gave it, which was extracted from that URL, and these just two parameters here. The default method is actually libcurl. It's already in there. You can change that if you regularly download stuff and you have a different strategy. And then mode just means that what you're downloading is going to be a writable thing that you're liable to be editing and whatnot. And then to be sure, we simply remove that after we have it. Okay. And then if something happens, it'll just throw an error, right? So, so that's it. We could just run that, and that's it. So it runs, and it'll go. It takes just a few minutes to download each one, and it'll just go through all of them and download them, and you'll have them all in your LAZ folder, and they'll all be right there. Right? They'll all be right there. And that's the end of this video. And what we'll do next is we'll come back and we'll actually start processing some of this data. All right. And somehow else I'll make all this code available where it's really easy, because I know it's probably going to be pretty hard to look on there and see. So we're gonna put this in a document and make it available to go along with the video.